Lots of reaction about Taylor Swift's new Wildest Dreams music video, people calling it racist. I want you guys to take a look, and then we'll discuss. Watch. The audio for that video was brought to you by Monster Soundstage. Make sure you go to monsterproducts.com/TYT for special discounts. Okay, so Taylor Swift. So obviously people here a lot of people are up in arms. Where do I begin? Some people are defending it, though. Some of the Swifties are defending her. But let's start with James Kasaga Arinatwe. I'm sure I mispronounced your name. I apologize. He is a public service worker from Uganda. He told NPR, quote, "Here are some facts for Swift and her team. Colonialism was neither romantic nor beautiful," because her music video was shot in the 1950s. If you watch the video, that is what he's alluding to. It was exploitative and brutal. The legacy of colonialism still lives quite loudly to this day. Scholars have argued that poor economic performance, weak property rights, and tribal tensions across the continent can be traced to colonial strategies. So can other woes. In a place full of devastation and lawlessness, diseases spread like wildfire, conflict breaks out, and dictators grab power. And colonialism, you know, that was around for a century. Okay, so the people there were oppressed, massive genocide, tens of millions of people died. And now that this has all been brought up, we have not heard from Taylor Swift other than the fact that she has donated money to a wild conservation over there in Africa. But Joseph Kahn, the director, he did hit back and he tweeted something in the vein of, "But we did have a really hot black director." Thoughts, 5 words or less.
I brought my book for this. She's got bad blood.
Oh.
African lives matter, Taylor Swift.
Ooh.
I'm going to go in the opposite route. I'm going to say wildest misinterpretation.
Oh. Internet took swift action. Boy, it was just a matter of hours until the internet spoke.
I like that.
And that's really powerful. So did you guys find that people were overreacting, or did you find that this was highly offensive and insensitive?
I would say that if you watch that video, they're on a movie set. No matter what period you're in, if you look at all these periods in history, movies still were made. So people, like, the setting is supposed to be in Africa, but it's supposed to be a movie set. So although there is tragedy in these times, like, people always romanticize tragedy. Titanic was a ship that sunk. They romanticized it for a movie.
It was a movie set in Africa, right? Set in Africa, but it was also done in Africa.
Absolutely.
About being in Africa.
Yeah.
So why were there no Africans there? It's like her wildest dream is that there are no Africans in Africa. That's what it came off.
If they're going to be a true representation of when movies were made at that time, that probably would have been a true representation of it. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm saying that in that example, it was supposed to be a movie setting. And I absolutely believe if you're trying to emulate that setting in Africa, then absolutely that has to be the case. But it was a movie setting. They were trying to shoot a movie.
And if they had done that offset, if they had done it in Toronto or Vancouver, I wouldn't have said anything. At the San Diego Zoo, it would have been amazing. but it was set in Africa, and that was not a realistic depiction of Africa. There weren't even any flies. How do you have Africa with no flies? I watched the commercials.
What do you think?
I mean, honestly, does it fall on, like, Taylor Swift obviously wanted to do something nice. She wanted to take the donations from the movie, all of the money that the video is going to, the music video is going to make, and donate it to the African Wildlife Foundation of America. The real exploitation here, I feel like, is picking apart something like that. And I mean, and I also am aware that it is kind of romanticizing the golden era of Hollywood, where, I mean, these colonialistic values were being pushed on in that era, and she's romanticizing it. I get that. And something like, maybe have, instead of that good-looking white guy, why don't you have a good-looking black guy as the main lead, like you are in Africa?
Well, I don't advocate pushing racial issues when it comes to music videos. What I do say is that you shouldn't have done a video in Africa and then gentrified Africa. Like, I love Taylor Swift. I love her, you know?
Me too.
And the problem is, it's just not within her character. She's such a PC girl. That's what she's pushed.
I watched it, and my gut reaction was like, wow, even before considering that it was in Africa and in the 1950s and smack dab in the middle of colonialism, I was watching it just felt so white privilege to me. It just felt
100%.
Especially because, and I'm not trying to like look too much into it, and I do not think that Taylor Swift had any malicious intent, of course. It's okay. So when you watch it and you do see the parts of it where it's just all white, and it is called Wildest Dreams, and she's dreaming about in Africa in 1950s, and it is romanticized. if my family, and even just as an empathetic person, and I see all of the tragedy that took place in that 100-year period, that to me is not a fair depiction, nor is it an okay, heartfelt depiction of what people really had to go through. Genital mutilation and murder, genocide, like.
Still going on today, by the way.
But does it fall on like Taylor Swift and Joseph?
No,
like,
I don't think.
To do a 5-minute music video about her, idealistic romance in this 1950s era.
That's
to,
not what
to make a political statement.
Hassan. Everyone's just saying, why were there no black people
there were black
in the entire
people.
video?
There were black people in the background
so that's what I'm saying.
As military men, which people are...
I'm so sorry.
No, but that's not enough. I understand that.
I'm sorry. The black people... Thank you, Taylor.
Exactly. The point you're making is very important.
Yeah.
Look. There are black people in the video, but what is the best way to go about it? Because I feel like in that situation, if they were gonna have like maybe like African tribal people like dancing or anything like that, then that's also racist. You're using them as props. It's cultural misappropriation. You're just taking them and you're using them as props. So like, I feel like there was no other alternative in this situation.
She didn't have to do this video in this style.
But
that's an alternative. She didn't have to, especially with racial tensions going on right now and the movements that are going on. Hey, let's be a little more sensitive, a little more aware, and let's do something else. Wildest dreams and have it in my room.
On that point as well, and that point as well, like. If you're saying, like, Taylor Swift is going for this whole sort of Aubrey Hepburn kind of style, that's what she's going for with this as well. So, like, for her to take away from that era, I think she needs to give it more consideration. Because I think that she does do a right image. And doesn't do the right image in that, but she's trying to go for that look, that kind of red lip, Aubrey Hepburn kind of style.
Yeah, I think that's good that we have the conversation. And I don't think people should be, trying to tear Taylor Swift down, calling her a racist. That's overboard, in my opinion. People being upset about this and offended, I think they have every right to, considering the vast devastation that has occurred over there. So I think that we can come in between and we can have a conversation about it. And I think that drives change. And then at the end of the day, the people that are ignorant about it, maybe Taylor Swift was, she gets to learn, right? So it can be a win-win situation. So you guys, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next time on Pop Trigger.